Hey guys, got another video that I want to talk to you about today, and yes, the title is about the event is our Ascension, and what can we do while we're waiting for it. In the meantime, you know, I just decided long ago, I decided long ago that I wasn't going to wait for it anymore. I mean, it's been over a year that people have been spotting dates, and how we're gonna wake up tomorrow and it's gonna be this big grand solar flash, and we just went past the blood moon, lunar eclipse, blood moon, wolf moon, super moon. Like, oh, I did get too many anyways. Did anybody go out and look at it? Oh my gosh, it was amazing. And it was interesting because I sat online and I watched with everybody some of the people were live streaming, and then just before it went complete, I went outside, and it was a beautiful night. I mean, we didn't have clouds, and it was 32 degrees, which is gorgeous. So what I really worked on with this moon was increasing my healing ability. And so that night, that's really what my intention was, that I set for this special energies that came through. And the next morning was really interesting because I'm a heart math coach, and I use the technology. I use the heart monitor, and I decided that morning I was going to go outside, feed the horses. But then some things, I always like to talk to Mother Gaia, and I have a lot of trees in my yard, and so a lot of times I'll say hi to the trees, and I really, really intended to connect with the trees. And so I have one tree that I really like, and I laid my hands on the tree, and just, communicated and shared my heart love with the tree. And I knew that the tree, as above, so below, I knew that the tree would also connect me with Gaia, because, it's 32 degrees out there, we got snow on the ground, and I really don't want to, even though I do once in a while, I don't like to go through 6 inches of snow barefoot. And it was like, just connect with the tree. And so I did that, and I just felt this healing, this calming, and so I went in and hooked myself up to some of the heart math technology, and I was watching my heart rate. And it was really interesting because my heart rate is always between 82, 83 to 90 beats a minute. And so my heart rate's always high. And not this morning, not after the blood moon, not after my intention, not after my connection with Gaia and the trees. My heart rate had dropped down into the 70s. Which is absolutely unheard of for me. So, it's all about you getting out there, you setting the intention, you getting busy, and you creating your own world. I could have sat there all night long going, well, okay, I'm waiting for these energies. So, the energies are just going to transform me. I'm going to wake up tomorrow, and I'm going to be a superhero, and I'm not going to have to do anything about it. That's not how it works, guys. And some of you are slowly figuring that out, aren't you? But, so I thought in the meantime, we're getting frustrated, we're getting anxious. It's like somebody saying, what can I do? What can I do? I want to do something. What can I do? And so that's what hit me this morning, was like, I'm going to do a series of videos. I don't know how many videos they will be, but I'm going to do a series of videos on, all right, what can we do in the meantime? What can we really do to connect with this ascension, connect with this event, be part of it? Instead of just sitting around listening to videos and, it's going to happen. I heard last March it was going to happen, all these dates, and here we are almost March again, And, but, us baby boomers, we've been awake for decades, so we've been waiting for this change for a long time. And so here we go. I'm going to get into what can we do to help us in the meantime. Number one, read books. Now, Yale University did this huge study, and they found out that reading books, I'm not talking about blogs or newspapers or magazine articles, I'm talking about an honest to goodness book. Yes. And it has to be fiction, people. Because what happens, especially if you read something that's non-horror, not dark, you have to read something that's light and preferably like fantasy, paranormal, sci-fi, not really romance, mundane, mainstream romance type novels. That's once again, that's making us look for that soulmate, which really, I don't believe in that. We have to complete ourselves. Yes, we can have a partner out there. It's great to have a partner, but searching and searching for this Hollywood style soulmate, it's just not out there. So Yale, they did this study, and they said that they found out that when you read it, and especially if you read a good story, it of course helps you with your brain power, because when you read and you're reading fiction, it really amps up the internal creative banter. Because when we're reading, we use our own imagination. We use our own thought processes of how we create the world that we're reading about. Can you imagine if everybody decided to be Peter Jackson and make a movie out of Lord of the Rings? Each person that did it would look different. But that's not the point. The point is it's getting that creativity going. It's really amping up our creativity, something that we've lost in watching, binging on Netflix. And I have my guilty pleasures, and Grace and Frankie is one of them. But yes, it de-stresses you in another thing. So it helps with the Alzheimer's and the dementia. It gives you more brain power. And also it makes you more empathic because you're reading stories about other cultures, especially when you get into fantasy and sci-fi and that, and other beings, and you are starting to notice that everybody else, they're people too, just like me. So it really helps with the empathy, and there's just so many things that reading helps you with. And of course, it makes you live longer. They're saying a couple years or so, but when you're in your 90s and you get a couple more years, hey, that's pretty cool. And so I know a lot of people. My mom is a huge reader, and I remember when I was a little kid, before I could read, my mom would bring home, she'd go to the grocery store, and if you buy so many dollars worth of groceries, you get a book, and it was all the classics, and she would bring these classics, and I would thumb through them. I couldn't read them, couldn't wait to read. And so reading, people, even if it's your Kindle book, we can afford 99 cents for a Kindle book, and here, Dragon Horse. This book is 99 cents. It's got to see reader's favorite. And so Dragon Horse, and don't let the title fool you, people. It's for all ages. And, I wrote this, I finished this after 2012. So I had the great shift in mind when I wrote this book, but it's based on my own journey into the gypsy realm and horse healing and the earth-based religion, witches and the dragons. And so we really have to read something that's going to really exercise that imagination. And is it just imagination? No, the consensus is already out. It's not just imagination. Here's the second book, Shemaiah. And so this book takes you, it's like a prequel. It takes you into Lemuria and Agartha and my version of what that world is like and what it has to do with the shift and the ascension and blah, 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 all that good stuff. And then paranormal, this is a good one, kind of like Cobwebs. It is a little bit of a romance, but there's a lot more going on beside that. And the theme is, it's during Halloween, which I love, just love Halloween. So, but these people, my characters are older, they're older, 55 and older, but oh my gosh, they are amazing. Think of Grace and Frankie. My 4 main characters are just fascinating. It's a whole lot of fun. It's a mystery and intrigue, and you go into 3 different time periods, and it's just a whole lot of fun. And but anyways, I know a lot of authors. I'm reading, those of you who watched The Last Kingdom on Netflix, I'm actually reading the author's first books he wrote before The Last Kingdom, the Arthur stories, and I love anything Arthurian. So anything that's going to make you stretch and exercise that imagination. And a lot of the authors like mine, a lot of the stories have awakening triggers written in, when you read them, it triggers levels of awakening. You start going, aha, or you go, wait a minute, or you go, oh, wait a minute, so wait a minute, I know what they're talking about. Guy Donovan, he's a friend of mine, used to work for Disney. He wrote the Dragon's Treasure series, 3 books, the very, very thick. That's epic fantasy. And it's about the Lady of the Lake before she was actually living in the lake. And it's 3 stories, and there's dragon in it, and it's just fascinating. And so that one really will help you. But like I said, we need to really stretch, get that imagination going, really start exercising and expanding that consciousness through reading these fiction stories. So that's the first thing that you can do while we wait. And some people call it escapism, and yeah, it can be. It can be escapism from sitting around and waiting for the event to happen. And what's the matter, Leo? What do you want? I gotta throw his baby. I gotta throw his baby. All right, go get it. Okay, so the second thing is getting into more heart coherence. And now this takes practice. And if you've heard my other videos, I've talked about this. I'm a heart math coach, and I do a lot of other things. I'm a Reiki master, herbalist, work with crystals. I'm an artist. I do all of that. But the missing link to all my healing modalities was working with the heart, and it takes practice, let me tell you. I was using the equipment, and I was really doing really well, getting in coherence and feeling it, and my numbers and my scores were going up, and my intuition was kicking in big time, and it was just fascinating. But then I got lazy, like we do, and I thought, oh, I'm good. I don't need to do this anymore. Wrong. And so I was feeling the tension and the frustration and all that come back, and I was having a hard time concentrating and doing meditations. I just couldn't get my thoughts focused, and so I hooked myself back up to my monitor, and sure enough, my rates were really low, so I had to start practicing again. So we really, really need to practice heart coherence, and I talked about one of the exercises, the easiest, the ground level, easiest exercise you can do. You can start off with now. We have 5 techniques that we do, and they build, they build on the first one. And so the first easiest one you can do is just, get yourself centered like you're going to go into meditation. Put your hand on your heart and start breathing out of your heart. And you're going to slow your breath down, 4 or 5 seconds in and out. Exhale in, 4 or 5, exhale out, hold, like you're going to do a meditation. But you are breathing in and out of your heart. And you're really going to sit and do this, and you're going to feel and connect with the heart and just feel any subtle changes. And so you're going to practice that. Do it before you go to bed at night, when you get in the morning, before you got to make that phone call, or something's coming up. But that is the default for heart math coherence. That is the basis. That's the baseline. That's where you start. We teach you how to go further than that. We teach you how to connect with that intuition, how your heart can actually help you with your intuition, and the exercises and the techniques that we use. So there's plenty of heart math videos on YouTube. Howard Martin, he does a lot of videos, and he talks about heart math. Greg Braden is another one. He's such a proponent for heart math. He's always talking about heart math. So if you love Greg Braden, look him up, listen to him. So we really need to learn to get into our heart. So that's the second thing you want to do. And the third thing, I'm only going to go through 3 things at a time. So the third thing, because these are kind of fun. Third thing is art, people. Expressive art. Art is healing. I just can't say this enough. I'm an artist. You don't have to be. I am not a fine art artist. But any kind of art, any kind of creativity, even if it's painting a rock. But create, that's why we're here. That's why they out there are so jealous about us, because we can think of something and we can create it, and it's there in front of us in 3D. It's right there in front of us. We can hold it and look at it. And so any form of art, expressive arts, and I teach a workshop. If you go to my website, you'll see it. The website will be at the bottom. And it's called Touch Drawing. And I stumbled upon this back like 2002 or 2003, and so I've done a lot of workshops. But I open it up to online where we can connect online, and it's just great. It's so simple, and it's when you do touch drawing, it's like touching the soul. It's like letting the inner child come out, letting the inner soul flow out, and it's almost like it's like. When you do touch drawing, it's like drinking a cup of tea that has the loose tea leaves in it. And then when you're done, you look at the tea leaves and you try to find the message in the design of the leaves. Touch drawing is like that, but you're using your fingers. And it's a whole lot of fun. So, and it's very healing. They use it in hospitals and healing centers and clinics, and counselors use it. It's been around for quite a while, and you can look up Deborah Kochik and her YouTube channel. And she has a video. I have it on my website, which I might have to take down. I might be a copyright. But anyways, I did her workshop. I bought all of her stuff, and so it's a whole lot of fun. So go to my website, check it out, it's so much fun because you're creating, it's an energetic creation. We set the energy, everybody's, patched into that. And then we get to share after that. And it's so much fun to share and create with people. I do one-on-one sessions. If somebody wants to create one-on-one with me, that's fine. Contact me, I can do that. But so in the meantime, I really think that a lot of us waiting and these dates going out, and you know, it's kind of like the people waiting for the end times. People are selling their homes and cashing it all in. And how many times have they done that? Because this was it. You know, a lot of this stuff is a psyops. It really takes us away from the journey. And like I said in one of my other videos, the journey is the destination. And if you read, if you take my word for it and read Dragon Hat Horse, one of my main characters is a gypsy wise woman, and she's always telling Cheyenne, the young heroine, that it's the journey. It's the journey. Remember, I said it before, we're supposed to leave this lifetime going, wow, that was one hell of a ride. You know, so this is what I'm trying to tell you people to do. In each video, we'll expand on that and other things and other things and other things. And so these are the first three things I think they're very easy for you to do. You can get started, get going, and then you know, step away from the psyops of all of it. You know, step away from the somebody else is going to do it for me. What fun is there in that? There's no fun in that. We don't expand from that. We don't grow and we don't learn from that. So while we're all here, and if you're watching me, hi, you're still here. Hey, let's make the best of it. Let's have fun. Let's start creating the world that we think that we're supposed to magically appear into one day. So these are three things that, very simple things that you can start doing. Ebooks are so cheap. I mean, less than a cup of coffee. I mean, come on, people. And even if you think, oh, I don't like fiction, I don't like sci-fi, I don't like fantasy. I read a lot of genres that I really don't think that I like, and because I'm in the writing world, I know a lot of authors, and they're sending me their books all the time. Well, you better read this for me. And another one. Oh, I should have brought her book. Ivy Taijeron. Well, no, Christi Taijeron. You could probably find her. I'll put her link in the description. She's a pirate writer. She writes pirate stories. And yeah, they're a little bit love stories, but the way she writes, I mean, you read them and she makes you laugh and she makes you cry. And it's a lot, they're a lot of fun. So you might want to check her out too. But really, reading books, it's so simple, and art. I mean, it's so easy. And even if you're doing art all by yourself in the closet, and, you know, you don't want anybody else to see, that's fine. There's so many different modalities out there now. And Sculpey, I mean, I love Sculpey. I don't know if you can see this. Okay, there's a rainbow moonstone in the middle of that. This is my, there's a rainbow moonstone in the middle of that. And this is my primitive goddess. She's got the big boobies. And the rainbow moonstone, and the rainbow moonstone is part of the divine feminine. And I made this. Yeah, it's not that, you know, it's not that great looking, but I love it, and it just helped me. Beading, if you like to bead, anything that's going to expand that consciousness, exercise that brain, you know, get that brain power going, and feed your soul. That's what I'm talking about. Feeding your soul. When you feed your soul, you're connecting to that heart. And so let's stop waiting. Let's get busy. And it's winter time. Art, books, this is the perfect time to get into that. And so anyways, those are the first three things. I'll do another video with 3 more things, and I'll just keep on going down the line. They're just going to be, and you know, in the meantime, all these things, people, are raising your vibration. We know what happens when we start to raise our vibration. It's amazing. We start thinking differently. We start really imagining you know, what about this? What about that? And so let's start imagining outside of the event and see where that gets us. So anyways, that's all I wanted to say. I'm getting ready to go into a 2-hour heart math class. And so we will talk to you soon. And comment below books that you're reading that are really helping you, you know, trigger any awakening. So share below and help people out. All right, talk to you.